Alright, so this is Claude Cowork, and I believe you might have encountered an error message that looks like this. It says that the workspace is not available, and that basically means that the virtual environment for Linux for Claude Cowork is not running, and therefore you cannot use its agentic features. Like you cannot use Claude Cowork to manage your files or perhaps execute some codes. Those are not available, and that basically means that Cowork is becoming almost useless. Not exactly useless because you can still chat with AI normally, but some features are not available. So the question is, how do you fix this problem? How do you run this environment again so you can use Claude Cowork normally? Well, there are a few steps that you can take, and the first step is quite simple. You can restart the program. So let me just close Claude. And if you're using Windows, I do recommend to check the system tray and make sure that you quit Claude. So here I'm going to right click on the Claude desktop icon and then click quit. And then I also highly recommend to check your task manager. So sometimes Claude might still be running in the background. So here I'm in the process section. As you can see, I can still see the Claude instance on my computer. So I'm going to end the task, and then you can run the program again. And I think I'm going to double check. I'm going to spam the letter C on my keyboard just to make sure that there is no other Claude instance. Okay, seems to be good. I'm going to close Task Manager and let me just relaunch Claude again on my computer. And I do recommend to wait about maybe 1 or 2 minutes after the program launch just to allow it to set up the Linux environment. So that's usually something that could happen. And by the way, it just restart by itself automatically because there was actually an update. So I think it's just applying that update. Now here, even after you restart Claude and then wait for about 2 minutes and then the environment is still not running, well, then we can actually force the environment, the virtual machine, to run when we want to use Claude Cowork. So here, again, I'm using Windows. So I have some command lines that I could try. And don't worry, I'm going to put the versions for Mac and Linux in the description down below. So here I'm going to open PowerShell. You can click the Start menu and then search for Windows PowerShell. And then here I'm going to check the status of the virtual machine for Cowork, and this is the command. I'm going to copy it and let me just paste that on the PowerShell. Okay, as you can see, the status is stop for CoworkVMService, and yeah, that means we cannot use the virtual workspace environment in Cowork. But don't worry, we can force it to run. So this is the command line that I'm going to use. And let me just put it here, copy and paste, send the message. And there you go. Now it is running. It's not running, it's still initializing, and maybe wait for about 30 seconds for it to run. And yeah, there are other commands that you can try, but these two are redundant. I think the first two here are the ones that are the most important. And again, I'm going to put the versions for Mac and Linux in the description down below. Now, to verify if Claude is indeed able to use its virtual environment, is you can just ask it to test that. So here, I'm going to ask Claude to please check if you can access or use the virtual environment, or something like that. The phrasing is not very important. It should understand what I mean. So just wait. It will run some code, some command line to test if it can access the workspace. Okay, just wait for it. As you can see, it's running a command line. Just testing, and it should be running normally, hopefully. Okay, it says that the workspace is still initializing, I believe. Still starting, so it is not running, it is still starting. And again, just wait for about a minute or so until it finished, and done. The virtual environment is starting up, and then it tried to check it again, and this time around apparently yes, it does work, it does run. So yeah, now I can use Claude Cowork normally, and that's basically how you can fix the problem or the error message of the virtual workspace not available when you are using Cowork. And again, all the command lines will be available in the description down below. So if you like this video, then consider subscribing to this channel, and I'll see you on my next video. Have a great day.